Okay, so in this video I want to look at why I think Harry Potter is a bit of a badass. Now, a couple of years back I would have never actually even came up with this concept or subject or topic or whatever you want to call it. But I recently got a chance to watch all the movies a few years back, and I kind of grew a bit of appreciation towards the boy wizard. And I'm going to go look into a few reasons why I think this guy is pretty hardcore. I mean, obviously he's not the usual type of the hero that you usually root for. You know, he's not like, built like a tank. He's not roided out. He's not roided out. You know, he's not played by Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone. His character is literally 11 years old in the first film. So I'm going to look into reasons why he's a badass. And if I'm wrong about any of the details, be sure to correct the shit out of me, because I probably am wrong, because I actually have not read the actual books. I've done of course a bit of research for the film because I want to pinpoint a few hardcore Harry Potter moments. Okay, so first off, I'm going to have to mention this tragic backstory. I gotta say, Harry Potter's backstory way more tragic than the likes of Batman. And of course, we all know that, like, in each Batman movie, we know that Batman's parents died in an alleyway, and he was heartbroken, and he said, I must do something with my life, with my billions of dollars. I must become the knight. I must become a vigilante. And of course, it's mentioned in every single film that he's still broken hearted about, and he's still tragic about it. But I mean, having billions of dollars and knowing that you've got a manservant played by Michael Caine or Jeremy Irons or the other guy who was Alfred in the Joel Schumacher films, that kind of really does kind of help the burden of your loss. Harvey Dent, can we trust him? Sorry, couldn't help it. We're talking about Batman. Batman quotes had to happen. Okay, so Harry Potter, he does not actually have any of that. His parents were killed in front of him when he was a baby by Voldemort. And of course, he's then forced to live with his aunt and uncle, who straight up hate him. I mean, they straight up hate him. I mean, there's definitely no love that they have for Harry Potter. Like, he literally sleeps under the staircase in their home. Like, seriously, like, who does that? Seriously, what the hell? Okay, so Harry Potter, he's not the greatest wizard in the franchise, but he sure as shit is the bravest. So I'm going to look into reasons why he's badass. I'm going to look at each movie, and I'm going to pinpoint like moments in which Harry Potter was pretty hardcore. So you guys can actually agree with me or disagree with me or do whatever you guys like. So anyway, I'm going to talk about the first Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stones. I think the Americans got a different title. I think it's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I think, could be wrong, maybe I'm right. Okay, so there is a scene which I do want to talk about, and it's when Ron and Harry face off against a mountain troll. Now, this mountain troll is pretty much, he's tearing apart a bathroom, and he took apart a few stalls like it was nothing. Ron and Harry are trying to save Hermione, and what they do first, they start throwing debris at the troll's head, and they're like talking all this good stuff to him, hoping to distract him. And that works for some reason, because they're turning around, the trolls turn around, and he's just like, yo, Harry, what the hell? With the throwing and the stuff in my head. Not cool, bro. So Harry Potter says, no, that ain't working. So Harry Potter is literally just going in. I'm going to try some hand-to-hand. I'm going to go in with a headlock. Okay, and that doesn't work out for him. It doesn't work out for him at all. But he does give Ron the opportunity to kind of use the troll's club against him and take him down. So it's a bit of a tag team moment. I look at it as a tag team moment. In the movie, there is also Fluffy, a three-headed dog, a three-headed guard dog, and he's a freaking massive ass guard dog, really intimidating looking guard dog. And of course, this guard dog is blocking an entrance in which Ron and Harry and Hermione need to go to in order to get to the Philosopher's Stone. That could be wrong, my bad. But it's a massive ass dog. It's pretty intimidating. Harry Potter still goes through him like he's not. Okay, there's also the killer chess game. And I mean, this once again is a moment where Ron actually steps up to being a badass. But still, Harry Potter was there for like a killer chess game. That's pretty hardcore, if you ask me. Okay, and the final moment from the Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone is when he faces up against Professor Quirrell. Now, I could be wrong against my pronunciation. I will apologize for that. Professor Quirrell has this kind of headception type thing going on. In other words, he's got a head within a head. In other words, like Voldemort is literally living on the back of his head. Now, that's pretty freaky as hell. If I was 11 and I seen a head within a head, I'd be like, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm leaving this room. Good luck. I can't deal with this. But Harry Potter's like, no, bro. See this stone? I'm going to kill you with it. And that's what he does. He literally kills him with it because he's got the stone. Because he's Harry Potter. Okay, so moving on from Philosopher's Stone, I want to talk about Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This for me is probably the most hardcore Harry Potter moment in the franchise. Well, for me anyway. So, the Basilisk is this giant serpent in the Chamber of Secrets, and he's pretty fearsome and he's terrifying to look at. And if you match his gaze, you'll freaking die, or you'll turn to stone or some shit. And Harry Potter is going to face off against this guy, the serpent, of course. And at one stage, he does get himself a blade. He gets himself a proper looking sword, and he decides, okay, I'm going to climb this kind of high point so I can get like a good slashing point at him. So he's slashing away at him left and right, and he gets a good kill shot at him, and it's a pretty sweet kill shot, I must say. I mean, it's kind of stabbing upwards towards the map, and it's pretty sweet, I must say. It's a pretty sweet kill shot. It's like kind of the upper jaw, doom, right through the upper jaw, through the head. It's a pretty sweet kill shot. I'm gonna give Harry Potter that. And he was only 12 when he done that. He was like 12, and he's like, yeah, I'm stabbing serpents. Because that's what I do every day. Because I'm Harry Potter. Okay, so moving on. From this Chamber of Secrets, I want to talk about the Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay, so from the very opening of this movie, there is a moment where Harry Potter is just being Harry Potter and just being hardcore. So, he's back living with his aunt and uncle, and they're just being their usual horrible selves. And Aunt Marge is there, and she's talking all this good shit about all this horrible shit about Harry Potter's mom. And he's just like, Harry Potter's like, he keeps it cool to himself. He doesn't say anything, and then he's getting a little annoyed over it. So what does he do? He inflates the hell out of her. He's just like, yo, you better stop talking about my mom like that. And he inflates her, and she's like literally floating off because he's Harry Potter. Okay, so moving on from that moment, I want to talk about Sirius Black. Now, Sirius Black is the Prisoner of Azkaban that's in the title of the movie, and he is this terrifying character that everyone is afraid of, and they're afraid for Harry Potter's life because they feel like this guy is going to hunt Harry Potter down and he's going to kill him. And Harry Potter learns information throughout the film that he believes that Sirius Black is one of the reasons why his parents were killed. And this really does piss Harry Potter off. When Harry Potter encounters Sirius Black, he's pretty pissed. I mean, he pretty much just gets him kind of in a chokehold, tosses him to the ground, and pretty much gets a wand to his face and says, hey, you should have woke up earlier if you wanted to try and kill me because I'm Harry Potter. There's also a time travel kind of subplot in this The Prisoner of Azkaban. And there's one point in the film in which Harry Potter and Sirius Black are getting attacked by a load of Dementors, and they're being saved by this mysterious figure. And at one point, of course, Harry Potter goes back in time, and he discovers that the figure that actually saves Harry Potter is himself, his future past self. Time travel, complicated. So anyway, Harry Potter uses a Patronus spell, and he fends off the Dementors. So it's pretty hardcore that Harry Potter is literally the savior of Harry Potter. Okay, so moving on from the Prisoner of Azkaban, I'm going to talk about Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. One of the things that I'm going to have to mention is the idea of Harry Potter facing off against a dragon. I mean, that sentence is enough to say that Harry Potter's badass. I mean, seriously, Harry Potter going up against the dragon, that's all you guys need. Towards the third act of the film, we discover that Voldemort is back, and he, of course, is reborn, and he decides, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to face off against Harry Potter, because he does this whole thing where he's like, I can touch you now, Harry. And I mean, it's super creepy, because if you put it out of context, man, it's super creepy. But there's this point where Harry Potter, he kind of runs away for a bit because he knows like how overpowered this guy is. And he literally runs off for like literally 5 seconds. And then he's just like, yo, I forgot who I was. I'm Harry Potter. I got this. So he literally actually dukes it out, knowing that he's nowhere near as powerful as Voldemort. But still, he challenges him and he faces off against him. It's still pretty cool. Okay, so moving on from that, I'm going to have to mention the Order of the Phoenix. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. And one of the coolest Harry Potter moments is Harry Potter being a bit of a rebel. What does he do? He decides to form his own army. Yeah, you heard it. Form his own army, called the Dumbledore Army. And what he does is he kind of teaches them defense spells. He teaches his classmates how to defend themselves against like the Death Eaters or all sorts of evil. It's still pretty cool because he's all super secret about it. It's kind of got this kind of Fight Club thing going on in which you don't talk about because you don't talk about Fight Club. You don't talk about like Dumbledore's army. Towards the end of the film, there is a point in which Dumbledore's army face up against the Death Eaters, and the Death Eaters are way more powerful than him in every sense of the word. But yo, he's Harry Potter, and he's got his Dumbledore army, and somehow they're like literally on par with them at this point because they had good teaching, good training. Moving on from the Order of the Phoenix, I want to talk about Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. So, Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy, pronunciation was slightly off again. Once again, must apologise. They've always had this kind of rivalry, and this rivalry has been seen from the very first Harry Potter to the last. This moment is kind of the one moment where this is where they kind of really kind of settle their score. They settle this tension that's always been there, that's always been building up. And the two of them actually duke it out. And Harry Potter, he fatally wounds Draco to the point that he's like near death. And that's what Harry Potter does. You do not duke up against him because, you know, he's Harry Potter and he could seriously fatally wound you. Okay, moving on from the Half-Blood Prince. I'm going to actually have to skip Deadly Hallows Part 1 because, you know, that film, it's hard to get something hardcore from that film because not a lot happens in that film, really. I mean, literally, I'm just going to move on to Deadly Hallows Part 2. Okay, so Deadly Hallows Part 2. Now, this moment is pretty hardcore. So, there's a moment in which Harry Potter grabs Voldemort, and he kind of grabs him in such a way and throws himself off a building. I mean, literally, what the hell? Who does that? It's just like, holy crap, that's Harry Potter. And then, of course, the two duke it out. And, of course, Harry Potter's just like, yo, you're done. We're gone. See you in the next life. He pretty much destroys Voldemort. And it's pretty cool and it's pretty awesome. He doesn't actually say any cool one-liners, which is a shame. And which would have added a lot to his character. You know, just something cool. But, you know, I totally forgive him for it. Okay, so those are my reasons why Harry Potter is badass. Now, you probably have other reasons why he's badass. And I've probably missed out on a few moments, a few great scenes where Harry Potter really shows that he's pretty hardcore. And if I did, really put that in the comments section. Because I'd be pretty disappointed if I've missed any obvious ones. And once again, if I've made any mistakes about the Harry Potter movies or when I was talking about Harry Potter in general, just mention them. Say, hey, you got this wrong, this guy wrong, and this wrong. Because I haven't actually read the books, I've watched the movies, so I could be wrong in some sense. But definitely, just be honest. Just be like, hey, you got this wrong. You should mention this. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And if you like this video, definitely give it a like. If you want to share it, be sure to share it. Subscribe to this channel if you like what you see. And once again, thank you for watching.